with some girl that told us that she was making gods, and that the head of the manor, Malice, didn't like that, and she was kind of frustrated at that, and then she sicked her god she had made on us. It was some fucking vampire bloodlord monster thing.
Oh yeah, and you're covered in even more blood now.
Yeah, you got a lot of blood on you.
Yeah.
Good.
I put my sword through its mouth and it's dead.
Yeah, I have some specific notes from like kind of what she said that y'all would remember, because I know it was like a lot. But yeah, her name was Nyav, like a little girl kind of. Couldn't tell how old she was, the spiritual form, but like she looked like she was young in her spiritual form. She said Malice found her after her family was slaughtered by cultists many years ago, and Malice and her made up some of the founders of Beckinsale, and he went to Beckinsale because he was drawn there because of something within the town's confines, like this fledgling settlement being formed. It was a ley line, is what the term he used, but like a strange coalescing of power between the realm of light and shadow, Solus and Tenebris, and that's where the manor was built. And Nyav said this coalescence of energy has reawakened now, alongside the entire Menicus clan, and is responsible for what has been happening in Beckinsale. It's been striking against Gaminivis and Lox's families, and she said her and Malice tried to put an end to the Gammon and Lox's family's corruption, and that's why they feared them and reviled them and ultimately sieged the house and killed them. And yeah, Nyav was working on something called theosis, or divinization, aka I think Darian knew a way of creating gods in a way. And she thought she could use the power of this coalescing dark and light energy in the manor to the ends of her theosis work. And it worked, but it had certain side effects and certain uncertainties, and she offered it up Malice, and Malice rejected it, and she didn't like that. But she said in Undeath she'd continued to work on something, and that is when she unleashed this blood monster upon y'all. And then something else specifically, Malos, with Olivar, you struck the killing blow upon the creature.
Yep.
Whenever you drove the sword through its face. Whenever you struck this thing down, this bloody, screaming tendril monster, through the sword's communication, sentient communication, you learned, kind of as I said before, it was filled with insane amounts of emotion and power, presumably created or helped being birthed by Nyav through the visions that you and Darian saw. But you also learned something whenever you strike it down. You learned that through Olivar that this thing was an infant.
I'm a good old baby killer.
But yeah, that's where y'all are now. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Can we take a little resty rest, maybe outside this blood room?
Mirmo would say that's probably a good idea. That was insane.
Wait, how long does my frost? I'm gonna see how long my frost armor lasts.
Yeah, it might be one of those 8-hour things. If not, I mean, probably go away in this time.
Yeah, I guess I could re-roll the dice too.
So it's Dylan, am I at 30 health or?
Yeah, you're whatever health your character token says.
Okay. All right.
Do you get spell slots back?
Short rest, warlocks get, if y'all did a short rest, you get, warlocks would get everything back.
Oh yeah, I get my Hexblade's Curse too. Oh, okay. I only use one, I think.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
down
use
short rest.
one dice.
So, you're
Just
gonna
take a nap in a haunted
where
house?
Exactly. Out in the hall?
Yeah.
No, I want to take a nap in the chapel.
In the pool of blood that you're in? That red square is like a pool of, or maybe it's dissipated. But wasn't it like a pool of magic blood or something?
Yeah. Everybody's slipping and falling in it. It's horrible.
Okay. Yeah, so y'all, an hour goes by. In that time, you notice some things. Nothing threatening really approaches your position, but you do notice over here, along the wall, right here, this like right angle, you see red blood or red liquid kind of streaking up from the ground through on the wall, along the wall, just like all along the wall right here. And you also hear back down this way some rather maniacal laughter somewhere back down the hall this way, and you see lights flashing from through this gated doorway to your right here, along with some blasts of cooler air, it feels like, coming from in here.
Oh, good. I love being in homes that have walls that bleed upwards. That's actually my favorite home aesthetic. All right, team, where to now?
So we just go towards the north? Forget what exactly this room looks like.
Is this the only door, or is there something over here?
Yeah, that's a door right there. So that door is kind of like a simple one door with a knob, wooden door. Looks like it's to like a side room, and then this is two like gated steel double doors that you can kind of see in, but it's very dark in the room. All you see, do you have dark vision?
Mouse is not.
Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to see very much at all.
Unless my eagle eye things give me dark vision.
Yeah.
I'll follow him.
Yeah, so you would see in, it looks like it's a pretty big room with a lot of pillars, and it looks like there's some statues and some central figure in the middle around which some of the statues are facing. But that's about it, no details.
Well, looks like some more inanimate objects. I'm wary though. I feel like some statues, I don't know, something could happen in here.
Mouse walks into the side door.
Okay. Yeah, that door is open. The lock is actually broken. Just opens without having to even turn the knob. And you see an empty, mostly empty room as far as anything other than a couple of tables and chairs. And this room is extremely dark, so you can't see very well, but you can kind of see from the light of the hallway you just came in, so you'd be able to like have dark vision essentially. But yeah, everything is just broken down and just in disarray. There's cobwebs, and you notice there is a couple doors you'll be able to see. Right, there's a door right there that looks like it leads down a couple steps, and then there's a small door that leads somewhere. There's a door over here as well, and actually you can see through that door right here. It has a window on it, and it looks like it leads outside to like a courtyard. You can see some of the moonlight bleeding in.
So it's just kind of pretty empty. Should we do it?
Investigate the room.
What's up? Sorry.
Can I investigate the room?
Yeah. Roll an investigation. Are you just going to do it in the darkness? Are you going to try to produce some light? Because it'd mean your investigation would be like much less full if it was still dark.
I can cast pretty.
Yeah, so you're able to look around, and from what you can tell, yeah, I mean, this is just a room that, like, no one set foot in here. Like, as you're walking around, like, you're creating, like, footprints of your feet disrupting the dust on the ground, layers of dust on the tables. And you notice this is, like, kind of a storage room / room. Maybe people will take their meals. Like, maybe in a house like this, you're not from high society, but you understand that there might be a servant's quarters, and this looks like it might be not quarters, but like servants would take their meals in here and hang out.
I see. What's out in the courtyard? Can I see anything?
Yeah. If you looked outside through the window and not opening the door, you see, yeah, just like it's pretty dark outside. You can see clouds kind of obscuring a full moon. And the courtyard just like leads out into some brush and some trees in the back of this manor. Kind of in line with around what you saw, like this house was surrounded by some foliage and some trees. So it's just like the courtyard leads up to that in the backyard. That's what you'd see through the window.
Okay. Should we go outside or should we just stay inside probably? Maybe go check the other room? The statue?
Check out outside.
So you go outside.
Okay.
Fresh air, yeah.
All right.
You said you are going outside or not?
Yeah.
We could take a vote on it, but
Is this the door here?
This is the door. That's the door that leads down a little bit into another doorway.
Can we see any remnants of the orb above the house from the window, or not really?
No.
All right. I mean, we could go try to see if we could see the orb. Maybe that could give us some indication of, I don't know, if there's some sort of progression happening.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's go outside.
Okay, so what you see outside is a lot different once you open the door. I'm not going to reveal much more than that because there's this like weird thing on this map that would break immersion. But so you step out and you immediately notice that like whereas just like standing next to the door, it was completely quiet outside and like it looks like it's just peaceful and like there's a full moon. But you step outside and the clouds that are obscuring the moon are like this whole back area you just looked at where you saw this night sky kind of normal and then these trees, this foliage behind the house is all just gone, and you see kind of like this vast blue, almost cosmic starscape with like the ocean or like a shore of water coming in just on the edge of the tile of this courtyard, and you hear the raging sounds of this orb that you saw above the house, kind of dark and black and white light together, kind of swirling about, still above the house, and it's kind of this massive spiral maelstrom of energy above the house, but then out on the courtyard you see this landscape of water, these like a beach almost, lapping up against the edge of the house.
Oh, it's kind of cool.
And it's quite loud from, you're not sure what, but it's a lot louder outside than it was inside.
Malice walks in the ocean, never to be seen again.
By the way, Alex, I see the Malzahar. You got the Malzahar token now? Little guy.
Yeah.
I finally figured out how to switch the fucking image.
The LinkedIn picture.
My immersion's broken. I want to see the LinkedIn picture again.
That was somehow better.
Yeah.
Than we. That's fair. I'll do an Arcana check to see if I may have some idea about this.
Okay.
Oh, I did disadvantage. Oops. Whatever.
Just use the first one. So you're not really sure based on what you've heard about this coalescing of energy that Naya talked about, it appears like this orb above the house probably related to that. As far as the blue landscape, cosmic landscape in this ocean, like you have little idea of what or why or how that's there.
Okay, interesting. So is there anything like, it's the courtyard is like surrounded by the house, but then it's like the ocean is kind of like between where we're standing and like the walls of the house. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like the waves and like the ocean stuff is coming in from this direction, like the edge of the house. The courtyard extends a couple more feet up, and then it just lets off into this water and this landscape that stretches as far as the eye can see. There's no trees. It's like you're not in Beckinsale at all anymore.
Can I throw a rock into the ocean?
You can roll an investigation, see if you can find a rock. I mean, this is just like.
Sorry, Dylan. What were you saying?
You look down with your allies, and there's like I found the
perfect skipping stone.
There's a perfectly formed mashed rock that has the perfect weightage to it, to where you could skip it a long way.
Okay, I skipped the rock.
Okay, I'll have you roll. I guess you can roll Dex or athleticism, acrobatics or.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so you're able to skip
really
this.
High.
It gets quite a few, maybe breaks your all-time record as far as. I guess Malice is a big skipping rock guy, and
Oh yeah, I like to skip rocks.
so this is like riding a bicycle, and you skip it into this bluish. It's almost like this water. It's reflecting this bluish light, but there's no moon you can see anymore. It's just the sky itself is. This landscape itself has this bluish hue, and you skip it off the water. It keeps going, and then eventually just kerplunks in. Yeah, your perfectly formed stone is now out there. You can see.
Nothing happens.
Interesting. Is there anything? So what's to the right?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over here.
So all the way to the right is you see kind of like this. This right here is an alternate entrance. It looks like the same room that y'all looked in, but it's just like two heavy doors, and they're actually chained up. Over here, you see a tower, or the edge of that kind of the tallest point of the manor that you could see from the outside. So you see the edge of that, and it just kind of spirals upwards a story higher than the tallest story of this house, which this house has 2 stories.
How far is the orb from the tower?
It's still a couple stories above that even. It's higher in the air. It's just wide and it's large and it is strong and real.
What about the XY position? Is it like over the tower?
It's like directly over the center of the house. So it's not like over the tower because the tower's off the side.
Oh, okay. Can you ping the? Is it like inwards back towards the way we came,
Yeah.
or is the center of the house? Okay. So we're kind of past the center from what I can tell. Okay, gotcha. Interesting. So yeah, so this is kind of like the back of the house, pretty much.
Yep.
Okay. You should climb the tower, Mouse.
Miles climbs the tower.
Go exit on. Do it.
Mouse is just like giving into peer pressure across the board. I mean, there's not
Yeah, it's a great idea.
You can roll me athletics to see if you can like try to get some handholds, but I mean, it doesn't look like there's a lot there. There's a window like on the second story that has like a ledge, but until that, there's not really a lot of like reliable handholds to where you can get. So I mean, it's not really possible.
Yeah.
With that roll, especially.
Don't say with that roll, especially. I mean, I rolled a 15.
Yeah, it's
above average.
It's not good enough to try to climb just like a brick facing house with no handholds.
Sorry, I thought this was an Assassin's Creed D&D campaign.
Yeah, sorry.
Right.
These towers are not especially programmed and designed to be.
So it's a Breath of the Wild climbing.
Just keep slipping off.
So there's nothing over here.
Yeah, so that's just the end of the edge of the courtyard kind of tile, and then it just like leads more into water. The only reason there's like this weird darkness right here is because the way this map looks. It's weird.
Can I jump?
Jump where?
Jump off.
Into the
ocean. Well, I mean, the ocean, like, it looks like...
Is there like a cave entrance
like
down there that's really cool? Or like a big treasure chest?
Not that you can see. So it looks like a beach.
That sounds like you need to jump down there.
That's the point of loot.
Yeah. It's shallow at first and then gets...
I take out my rope and I tie it around myself.
No, what I'm saying is, it looks like
I jump off and no one's holding the other.
So like if you jumped off, you would land in, like, water that reaches your ankles and you just, like, hit the whatever. Actually, I'll say
I hit a bunch of rocks.
You hit what feels like sand, but then you like kind of run your hands through it, and it's like it's finer than sand. And you could roll a perception, I guess, as you kind of feel this on your hand and look at it.
Okay.
It's bright white, and this is the stuff that's underneath the water once you reach it. Kind of like a beach to where it's shallow and then seemingly gets deeper. So yeah, this it kind of runs through your hands almost like mercury, almost, where it has a solid form, but it doesn't stick on your hand at all. It just runs through it, and like this is the composition of the material that's underneath the water, this bluish water. And I mean, it's not sand. It's something else. And
I drink it.
Good old-fashioned bone dust.
I put it to my lips. I'm already covered in blood. I'm going to try to rinse off the blood first. But a little bit gets in my mouth.
You guys can't see me on camera right now, but I'm opening up my big old spooky playbook to see what this is going to do to you.
Oh, God.
Move, cat.
So whenever this sandy-like substance touches your tongue, because you're eating it a little bit, you hear the screams of the damned in your ears.
Oh.
Okay.
The abominable whispers of things that should not be, and cats meowing. Oh wait,
Hey, Sirach.
that's your zombie cat that's on your shoulder that's also eating sand.
Yeah, it's lapping it up.
Hey, Dylan.
It's canon.
Yeah.
Is there any like kind of landmass out in the ocean that I could challenge Sirocco to a Gattaca style swim contest to?
As far as you can see, there's no land.
I start swimming.
It's just ocean.
I have a head start.
All right. Hey, Sirocco, I bet I can swim farther than you and still make it back alive.
I start swimming.
I start swimming.
Your cat runs back to shore, wanting to be away
So
from
my
the
cat
water.
is swimming with me.
Nope, your cat is not like water.
Mm.
Your black zombie cat.
I pick up the cat and try to pet it.
Roll me an animal
It's
handling.
fast
Malice and Sirocco, roll me athletics.
What about acrobatics? I'm swimming very acrobatically.
This has
There's
to
no
be
way.
athletics.
There's no way swimming is acrobatics.
Damn it! I have a minus
roll
one.
me- roll
How
me
can I possibly just tell me how this makes any sense?
Yeah, Quilly, that
Plus
cat bites
7
you.
to acrobatics and a minus 1 to athletics.
Why are you such a weak ass bitch?
I just don't. How just
Because athletics is strength based. It's all about
yeah,
like
but I just
having
you can't have plus 7 to acrobatics and not have some type of athletic ability.
Yeah, you should have allocated your proficiency.
I backflip across the water.
Think powerlifting. No, both of y'all rolled again. You rolled 2.
We rolled 2.
Yeah, that's what I said. All right, Malice wins easily. In fact, Sirocco, for a moment, you think is like drowning, and somebody's gonna have to get out there and save him. But then he recovers and is able to make it back. And whenever you guys emerge from the water, you notice that like you're not even really wet. Like you were in water, you were wet, but then as soon as you come out, it's like you're dry. And
I look at Sirocco and I say, you know how I always win? I never save anything for the swim back.
And also from Gattaca.
That's all from Gattaca.
You really teed that one up.
Well, I was kind of hoping something would happen, but
You're hoping for
this place
something.
sucks.
hoping-
Let's go back inside. I want to go get spooked.
Karen's just standing up here, just watching y'all, just like jackass around.
You're kind of hoping something would pull you down from the depths.
Yeah. Malice was really hoping that it would all end there.
Yo.
Well, maybe
Hey, go down
that's
the road, Darian.
maybe these Plutonian shores. Maybe that's their biggest like lesson is that the suffering is that you have to keep living.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go back in here and go through the other door. I'll see you
So they
guys
won't let
later.
her die? I grab all the loot in the cave and then don't tell anyone.
Yar, it's me, Ghost Pirate. You uncovered my treasure.
So long, John Silver.
Yar, fuck. All right. None of that.
I take his doubloons.
Me doubloons.
And his golden spear.
Golden magical spear.
A
Yeah.
golden
I
magical
wasn't
spear.
joking last
It's a
time.
level
But I
100
said y'all haven't
spear.
made it to the loot room yet.
I know. I'm trying to fucking
Okay,
find the loot
so-
room right now.
So-
Sirocco
Malice, you're
runs
going down here?
Yeah.
All right.
Give me the loot.
Give me the loot.
Why don't we
so
split
you
up?
open this door. Yeah, you guys split up. Be great.
Yeah, let's split the party.
And you
That goes well in
see-
most like horror haunted house.
You see a stairway down into darkness. Star Trek into darkness.
We're going down the stairway.
All right, up the downstairs.
Okay.
I went through the wall.
Where do y'all go? So as y'all step down, you stare into an abyss. And even those with dark vision, you can't really see through it. But as soon as you reach like the last couple steps of the stairway, everything kind of lights up. Oh yeah, by the way, whenever y'all came back in, Murmo's corpse was there, flayed, and blood everywhere. No, I'm joking. She's
Jesus.
Christ.
Watch this, like, fucker.
she is with y'all as well.
Oh,
This
step
map
away.
is
Yeah.
huge. This
Yeah.
map is fucking huge, bitch.
Oh, shit. Where the fuck did we just
You
go?
just teleported.
Everybody.
What
can
sector do we go
teleport
to?
another- Yeah, y'all are Star Trek Into Darkness now.
Oh.
Benedict Cumberbatch, shall we begin? Alright, reveal this shit. If you direct your eyes to the bottom right corner of the massive screen,
Oh, wait, we actually haven't TP'd.
oh, Well, you just went down the stairs. So y'all see where y'all are?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So as I said, it was like a darkness, but then you get to the bottom of the steps and it kind of lights up. It looks like there's some activity going around. You see up above over here
Oh God. So it's like some devil shit.
a goblin walking around. He's carrying like what looks like a tray or like a tome or something across his arms, and he just walks into here. And yeah, you see like a well-lit area as you see on your screen.
Is he?
And looks like you just walked through a doorway over there.
Oh. There's some sort of pentagram / hexagram thing on the floor.
Yeah, the design on the floor looks like it's just etched into the wood of what looks like a pretty extravagant basement.
If we investigate the symbol, would we notice anything specific about it, or would any of us know about like where it came from or anything?
Yeah, you can roll me investigation, arcana, whatever you want, whatever you think it is.
Damn it.
Village.
Oh wow.
Darren, you do not recognize this to be religious in nature.
Oh.
Honestly, just looking at it, it looks like it might just be a design for like art reasons.
Hey guys, this looks like just the design for art stuff.
Great.
Neat. I'm sure it is not. This has no spooky meaning whatsoever.
Artistically.
While
But why don't y'all
y'all
walk first?
are
I'm not walking
investigating
first.
this area, you see another little gobbo walking by.
Hey, you, come here.
He doesn't listen.
I'm gonna make him listen.
I yell louder.
This door is actually open right here, so as you
I water with him.
as you walk by this door, Malice,
Too slow.
you can see in, and it looks like there's some gobbos in here talking amongst themselves.
Is this the Gobbo break room?
This looks.
Or throw a grenade in there.
There's a gobbo
Clear the
kind of at
room.
the head of the table, with his leg up, and looks like he's drinking some tea, and the other gobbos are eating, and they're all just sitting there, and it looks like one of them, the one you just saw walk in, is kind of walking around to take his seat over here. You can hear their voices. Hey, Scrag, this tea, it's amazing. Where'd you get this recipe?
And we're like standing outside the door, and they're paying no attention to us at all.
Yeah.
Have they seen us?
Doesn't look like it. You can roll
They
me
don't know about
a
'em?
perception in general for kind of as you see this happening. Fill out some more of the areas. Yeah, Quilly and Darian, you notice that these gobbos, much like Rondé and Bach and Nayov, are a little bit translucent.
Maybe these guys are like the servants of the Leviticus family or something. Because we kind of were in the servants' quarters, remember? So maybe they're like a reenactment of them.
Mm-hmm.
Malice kicks the door open and says, "Hey, what's going on in here?"
Jesus. All right.
As you kind of walk into the room, as you get like kind of closer to them, almost interacting, almost able to where your shouting would undoubtedly alert them or get their notice. The lights go out. The pristine, well-lit, couched, tabled room that you saw falls into disrepair, and these gobbos aren't there anymore.
Interesting. So, is the tea still there?
It's ethereal tea.
Tea is not there. The table has been smashed in half, and the couches are upturned in pieces as well.
Whoa. Maybe we were like seeing some sort of projection from the past. Oh, they couldn't hear us when we yelled at them.
Can I investigate the room?
Yeah, roll me investigation.
I also want to investigate the room.
Can I do
Never mind.
So now,
Arcana?
when you flip on detective mode, you hear the sound. Yeah, you can tell this room looked like it was sacked. As I said, all the furniture has been destroyed, and you notice in some corners of the room, very old but still there, bloodstains and scratches along the walls. Various signs of a combat played out within this room.
Looks like there was a struggle in here.
Yeah.
Blood on the walls. Scratch marks everywhere. We don't notice anything else though.
No. No, I mean it's just a bunch of junk in the room at this point, and the lights are dim, so you'd have to produce flame as part of this investigation to like see it better. But the outside of the room is still well lit, actually. Or everybody else is.
Okay.
Hey, Quilly, come in here and produce flame so we can see better.
Yeah, Mirmo would enter as well as part of your investigation, kind of see the same things,
Flame on.
and she would say as like kind of seeing the same things that y'all saw. She would say that the spirits of these goblins are very dense about here, and as y'all know, goblins are extinct.
Oh.
I don't know if, I guess, Quilly, I don't know if, Alex, I don't know if I told you that, but yeah, so like in this world, it would be relatively common knowledge at this point, goblins are literally extinct. That being said, Agalor actually did meet the last goblin while on a misadventure in Faye's library, but I don't know if anybody else knows that, so that's just suspend your disbelief, other than Darian. I don't know if Agalor, did he tell everybody? I think he did.
Yeah, I know he at least, like, me and him taled about it, but I don't remember.
There was like an
probably
immortal
told
goblin
everyone.
that was like hyper intelligent because it had lived for like an inordinate amount of time inside this library that Faye has in her keep. So other than that, there's no goblins left in the world.
Interesting. So how long ago? So the Menicus.
So goblins went extinct about 50 years ago in like the last big war because they were used as fodder and they kind of just got wiped out.
Okay, well that kind of makes sense. The last big fight he was saying for the Menicus, wasn't that about a century ago?
Yeah,
right?
100 years.
Okay.
100 years is when their family got like the siege on the house happened and the family got.
Maybe during the siege the goblins got fucked up.
I don't know.
I guess we
It's
get
bizarre though.
Yeah, it's weird.
Can I go investigate like where the goblins came from over here?
Yeah, sure. Move your token accordingly. Okay. Yeah. So you see, there's a door right there you would have passed, and there's a hall all the way down to what looks like another door.
I'll go in this door up here.
Okay. Yep. You open into this room, kind of similar in appearance to where you see it's like well lit, and you see some more figures. This looks like a dojo, and there's two goblins here sitting across from one another, kind of seated in a meditation stance almost, and then they each get up and start fighting each other in a way that Soraka would recognize.
So we have some religious goblins and some monk goblins.
And then you would see this kind of room has a small doorway right there, and then it's just some like water basins over here, presumably to drink out of or bathe in, something. But as you step through this room, after seeing kind of the after image of this sparring fight between these two goblins and their mentor, overseeing it disappears, and the room goes dark.
Is there any water in the basin? Or is it empty?
It was, but now whenever the vision fades, there's not.
Oh, interesting. Is this another door over here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll open that door.
You see two goblins chilling in a sauna.
They just have towels on.
Alex, let's create a sauna.
Towels on.
You use water and I'll use produce flame. And then we can sauna it up.
This is where we should have taken our short rest in this sauna.
Oh man.
I'd take another short rest.
Yes, you really sauna it up.
So whenever y'all walk in here, the
Chat it up.
lights go out, it's darkened again, and you actually see there's a goblin skeleton sitting, and it still has its towel on.
No.
Oh god.
The towel's
Hey,
ripped up, moth-eaten in tatters, and the goblin's bones are half rotted away, but there is a body, or what was a body here.
Hey, Quilly, don't you have something that allows you to speak with dead stuff?
Yeah. Let's use it.
Yeah.
Alright, I whip out the wand and I point it at the corpse and talk to it.
Okay, let me look at the parameters of Speak with Dead, because I know there's some specific rules.
Okay.
Or actually, can you like link it in the chat if you have it learned on your character sheet?
I'll just Google it. I don't know if this is the correct one.
Okay, corpse must know of a mouth and can't be undead. Spell fails if the corpse was the target of the spell within the last 10 days. You can ask the corpse up to 5 questions. It only knew what it knew in life, including the languages.
You resurrect someone, and you're just like, "What's the meaning of life?" And they're like, "All right, I'll tell you everything."
That's fair.
Should know.
Any amount of time, though. It has been deceased for any amount of time. It must be mostly intact to be able to respond.
Yeah, I mean, its skull and like its bones are like, I mean, old, but its skeleton is still intact. It's not like violently ripped apart or anything. It still has its talon. It looked like it just died, like didn't get cut in half or anything.
All right.
Okay, so you cast it on this, and you see it doesn't animate the corpse, so its body's still there. You see its head just kind of like turn and like look at you. Apparently, the spell has worked. So you get up to 5 questions.
How is the sauna?
This was my favorite part of the basement, our home.
Where's the loot?
What?
Is there a room in this house
isn't a
where they
question.
kept a lot of valuables?
I don't know.
How did you die?
Sauna for too
They,
long.
they turned off the. Yeah, you didn't listen to the
Overcooked.
timer on the wall.
I
Say 10 minutes. That's what
they
happened.
just left me in here, barricaded the door. I couldn't get out.
Okay.
That's
So-
that's 3 questions.
Fuck. Okay, wait. So he's probably talking about the opposing families, or should we clarify that?
Mm.
I think we should ask about the loot.
Rephrase it.
I'm like, I don't. Obviously, somebody killed him.
Where's the golden spear? The magic golden spear.
Yeah.
Let's ask him when he was alive, maybe. Or do we think it's probably... fuck, that's a good question.
Should ask like what Malice's like biggest weakness is, so we don't have
Where's the boss's quarters?
Yeah, where's the boss key?
Yeah, we're both boss keys and then the boss chamber.
Mr. Malice, he lived upstairs.
Okay.
Be more
Upstairs, that's
specific.
in the level floor, or like the one you come in on, or the one above that, or the one above
We're
that.
downstairs right now.
The upstairs, above the upstairs, yeah.
So okay. Any particular room? This is all the same question. You're just not being very clear.
I mean, I don't know. That second though, is it's not the same whatever room you're asking? That's another question.
I did say specifically where the boss's quarters.
He said upstairs. That's his answer. Like that is a very clear answer. What do you want him to say? Like, room
Fucking
2B?
like-
Room
I already
2B
knew it was
upstairs?
upstairs.
But yes, it was
My
Jaws.
purpose for not saying, I know it's already upstairs. What door? That's I should have said that. You're right.
You can ask him what his job was. Maybe. Would that be helpful? I don't know.
So you have one more after that, yeah.
Do you need that towel? 'Cause I need to wipe the blood off.
Okay.
No, not anymore.
Okay, rip it off.
All right.
Just
All the bones.
The bones just kind of fade away into dust.
Fuck.
It just falls apart.
I like.
A bunch of bones
Well,
playing on the
I-
floor at your feet.
We learned literally
I've left the
nothing.
room. I've left the room.
I hit it
Going down
against
this
like
way
a
now.
wall to try and get all the dust out of it.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm
Come
following
on,
Malice.
man.
All right, the towel does not work. It becomes very stained with blood and actually just like rips apart because the towel itself had holes in it and was also 100 years old.
Is there anything over here, or is this just like end in a wall?
Yeah,
Over here?
there's in a wall right there.
Okay.
Malice, if
I mean-
you walked into this room, you would find a pretty hearty dining hall, well lit with a lot more gobbos singing a merry song.
Darian's gonna whisper. I bet it's gonna disappear before we walk in.
And you
Right as we walk
see
in.
at the head of the room,
It's a very fucking astute observation, Darian. I'm sure you're right. I walk in.
yep. So you see at the head of the room, right here, it's kind of all the goblins like raising their mugs towards that direction.
Hail and well
As you
met,
walk in,
gobbos.
Oh,
You see a familiar figure of Malice kind of sitting on the end of on this table or stage kind of up here, and he's playing his lute, and he is singing to these goblins, and they're all kind of doing their merrymaking. And then as you walk in, all of it fades away.
Told you so.
Malice.
Oh, including Alice. Interesting.
Malice appeared as though he didn't appear as the same as you saw him whenever you walked in the house. Just looked like he was, same person wearing different clothes and stuff, and looked like he was part of that vision. And you do see a stairwell right here leading upward.
I don't know. Seems like probably isn't anything else down here. I mean, I guess we kind of know it's the servants' quarters, but we can probably have.
I think we can go to that stairwell in a sec, but let's just peek in every room.
That's probably a good idea, actually.
I'll come over here.
Okay.
Back to the right.
So you see
Right there.
more goblins over here, and it looks like they're all meditating. They're all just stationary, not moving. And you can actually see through. This is kind of like open air over here, going out. You can see through into what looks like a garden, and there's a bunch of goblins gardening with big old sun hats on.
The fuck is going on here?
Is this a goblin plantation?
Goblin slaves.
And then, Quilly, if you went over here,
Yeah,
you
I
would
was kind of thinking about
find just some more rooms. There's no goblins in those. Then you'd find there's actually, if you went in the room over here, I just revealed down this hallway, you see a bunch of goblins standing over wooden boards with like arcane symbols on it, and they have wands, and they're like pointing them at each other and like shooting little effects out. And then kind of as you walk in, all of that washes away, and one of the boards is still on the ground, but it's kind of been shattered into 4 pieces. The arcane symbol broken. And then same thing with you, Malice. And as y'all kind of have explored most of this area, the lights go out pretty much everywhere, including in the hallways, which had been remaining well lit throughout this whole time. And kind of like all y'all are in kind of separate areas. The abyss that you saw whenever you're walking down the stairwell kind of returns to the whole basement area, and you see some figures begin to arise from where you entered.
You reveal the boss room, the loot room.
Damn, I want to reveal them all at once. I'm gonna move y'all out of it. No, I don't think I have to. So you see some figures, some spectral figures begin to arise from this dark and dusty floor. All the lights are out, and
Bloodcast?
y'all roll
Fucking
some
bloodcast?
initiative.
Oh shit.
What the fuck?
Sirocco, where are you?
I mean, I'm in that room. Where am I? Oh,
Remember to
okay.
click your
I'm
character
still
tokens
Oh.
before.
Ooh.
That's not good.
finish.
Hey.
It's kind of lore though, because you're like outside the room anyway. So
Yeah.
None of those
That's
guys.
lore. That's definitely not a Sirocco lore.
Oh, mine didn't work. But I'm not gonna.
yeah, Rocco's still in the sauna, but whatevs.
Fucking with some moldy towel.
He was still just talking to the body, even though he's just shaking the bones. Like, where's the loot room?
Oh god. Guys, help.
Okay, so y'all could roll me a perception. These things are gonna go first.
Should
So we just shouldn't attack them, right? It's the
Put on my
rule of thumb.
scanner.
Rule of thumb is that you don't.
Tell me their power level.
We can't hit them.
Oh shit. Some dope initiative.
Well, I just put an initiative higher than y'all's because they're going first is the surprise. But yeah, these things are Malice, mostly Sirocco. You notice that these things are like spectral, pretty terrifying visages on their face. They have blood seemingly coursing through their like hands and claws, but you can see, Malice, you especially, along their like face, they have like a goblinoid face.
Dylan, did you play a land this turn? Should they have haste?
They certainly, a land has been played this turn.
Did I not notice anything different? I got a
I'm
20.
not under.
I didn't see. Sorry, I didn't see yours. Yeah,
That's
so
what I was
Darian,
on
you
my
can
scouter.
definitely notice these things look like this, like spirits of goblinoids, and they are gonna attack. They seemingly like phase through the air, kind of they're upon you before you can know it. Really, you can tell. Quill, you take 6 damage as these two things converge on you and swipe at you.
Shit.
Sirocco, you take 3 damage as this thing's bloody claw swipes at you. And Darian, you take 7 damage as one of these things you're able to dodge out of the way, but the other one, while you're distracted, gets you good in the back as it drives its claw like into your back, and you take 7 damage. They don't hit especially hard, but it looks like they're hitting fast. And then they are going to move about. And you see almost they're phasing away at the end of their turns, and it looks like you can't actually strike at them as they move around.
Oh, fuck.
And Sirocco, it'd be your turn.
I mean, I can't strike them. I mean, I'm gonna move, I guess. I'm gonna.
So, okay.
Yeah, I mean. Well, fucking hell. Where are the stairs? These are the only stairs up, or I guess there's this over here.
Yep.
Okay. But these are the ones we came down. Okay. I mean, I'm probably gonna make for the stairs.
Run. I'll come back with a magic weapon, guys.
I'm gonna go this way.
Okay. Are you disengaging?
Yep.
All right, so you're able to make it up the stairs, like almost over halfway up to where you know the ground floor was.
Okay.
All right, and it'd be Quilly's turn if you're done.
Wait, so we can't attack them, or?
I mean, you can try to attack them, but like if you were to swipe at them while they were, because mainly I was saying you couldn't get an attack of opportunity on them.
Oh, okay.
Because whenever they moved, it's like they were disengaging. But that was because they were like phasing away.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll cast Mirror Image. Pretty much 3 duplicates appear.
Yep. Okay.
I think that's all.
All right. Darian,
So they have-
you can
okay.
move also, or are you gonna do anything else? Or you're just gonna cast it and then end.
I'll move over by Darian. Can we flank this guy, actually? Does that mean I'm, like, taking an attack of opportunity, or are we still in combat?
Yeah, you would take an attack of opportunity from the one you're just moving out of.
Yeah, I'll do it. I have Mirror Image.
Okay. So it swipes at you, and it's gonna miss even your mirror image if it lives. Oh, it won't make you roll for it. So Darren, it'd be your turn.
Take advantage. Woo! Alright, I'm gonna swing at the one in front of me, between me and Quilly. Oh god.
Yep.
The
All right,
fuck?
you bring your halberd down and kind of
Oh,
just the blade of this magical halberd swipes through it, and it just like rips its soul, rips its spirit in half, and it just disappears.
Nice. This within 10 feet. Yeah. I'm gonna turn and attack that. I'll actually just move and hit it. Let me turn off advantage.
That is still a hit.
Oh, nice.
Well,
And
yes, can't block, John.
You move over and you drive the halberd through the back of it, because this one was like facing Sirocco, and yeah, this one you kind of get into it's slight but still, somewhat existent spiritual form, and just vaporize it.
Oh, maybe I didn't need to cast this spell. Oh.
Okay. Can I move again?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna move more towards the open room over here.
Yeah.
You see
I'll be
Mirmo swing at this, kind of like defending against it with her shield, and then she swings with her mace and like socks it across the face. And this one, and Malice, would be your turn.
I'm gonna step over here, so I'm flanking, and swing with Olivar.
That's a hit.
Nice.
All right, you vaporize this, and you can roll me a wisdom check to check in with Olivar. Checking in with Olivar. So whenever Olivar does the same thing, he kind of rips through this thing. He says like, that was a clean hit, but I feel like I didn't really put it down. I don't know. That was weird.
Uh-oh.
And at the top of the order, you see some more figures burst forth from the ground.
Run.
As
Time to bounce town.
these little goblin ghasts kind of reappear in not the exact same fashion that you saw them when they first appeared, but it's the same amount, and they're ready and on the attack. This one you see glide all the way over here, Quilly, This one glides through the wall to you, Malos. This one gets up on you, Darian. This one glides all the way through to you. And this one gets on you, Quilly, as well.
Fuck.
Quilly, what's your AC?
12. But if I have 3 duplicates, I can roll a 6 or higher to change an attack to the
Okay,
duplicate.
yeah. Roll one of those.
Fuck! Are you kidding me?
Nah, you rolled a D2 for some reason.
Oh.
Malice, you take
Oh, no.
You take 2 slashing damage.
I can't do this.
You
This
okay,
is
man?
just a disaster.
Darian, this thing swipes at you but narrowly misses. So Quilly, this one swipes at one of your mirror images and just washes it away. It's much in a similar way as these things get washed away after they get struck. So you don't take any damage. Only the other one misses you, and this other one misses Mirmo. So Soraka, it'd be back up to you.
Sirocco yells, "Are you coming up the stairs? Are we running?"
Let's get the fuck out of here.
I guess I'm down the run.
Okay. Sirocco leaves the room. He goes in and goes.
Okay.
But he kind of keeps the door cracked at the top so he can hear if they're screaming. And then if he needs to go back down,
Okay. We'll move you over.
I put the door stopper in.
Nice of you.
Is there a door stopper? If not, I'll leave my shoe there to keep it open.
Sick.
You're gonna leave your shoe there?
Is there like a skull lying around? Something I can just prop it open? Chair.
How's Vance doing? I don't think we've got a Vance update in a little while.
Yeah.
I forgot about Vance.
You're bored.
Yeah. So Vance, you're Soraka. You're still wearing him as
Oh.
a front backpack. And during
I
the
swam
fight,
with him. I drowned him.
you, So actually, something that you would have like realized, and I'll give you a decision point here on as far as how you wanted to resolve it. But as soon as you went to the water near this open water with Vance's backpack strapped to you, and again he's continuing to just lap up the blood that's seeping onto his body. He, as you get near the water, he'd be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! That stuff don't feel right with me. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't think I like that. Don't get me near that water. It might be real bad for me, real bad." So then, whenever you went on your swim, did you remove your Vance backpack?
No.
So you can roll me in nature as I
most
roll these
definitely
Constitution
not.
saves to see if Vance survives.
I want Hulk Vance.
Oh god.
What's that?
I said I want Hulk Vance.
No, you can roll me in nature if you really want to get an insight into why this might be bad for a vampire.
Oh, I didn't realize. Oh.
Are there 2 Vances now?
So vampires, like running water, is something that damages vampires like a lot.
Oh.
So like
Is
open
it actually water, though?
It looks like water.
I thought you said it looked like mercury.
No, I said the sand looks like mercury.
Oh.
No, I thought it was
I
the
thought
water
the whole
as well.
thing was that.
Yeah, I thought it was like mercury because it didn't like get him wet.
Well, that's also true. But the sand is the thing that looked like mercury, and then the water looked like water. But then as soon as you got out, you were wet while you're in it. But then whenever you got out, you were dry.
I did. I mean, I would have moved the backpack or the papoose to the back. So maybe he got splashed a little, but like he wasn't submerged.
He would be screaming the whole time. Ah, fuck!
Just so we can have a Gattaca swim contest.
Actually, the
Tortured the soul.
screams of Vance, like they were so like horrible that like they may never like leave your ears. But you notice also.
Does it kill you? Makes you stronger, Vance?
I was
Or
gonna
just
say that whenever you walked up the stairs, so that's your Vance update. If you want anything else, I can fill in. But whenever you walked up the stairs from the basement with your Vance backpack on, like, "Oh, I'm glad to be out of there with those ghostly gobs." That was.
I asked
weird.
if he forgives Vance. Do you forgive me for getting you wet earlier? I didn't know.
I mean, I guess I have to. I mean, you're literally carrying me around
right.
like a backpack. I'd be dead.
You're right.
I'd be
You do.
helpless
You
without
do have to forgive me, Vance.
We also
but
retcon and like gather some of that fluid.
Mostly,
and,
I'm,
like,
I'm thankful for
containers.
the blood. Thank you. And he
that's a good
continues
idea.
to drink it up, and he looks a lot healthier. Like he's His body is less emaciated. His body's starting to fill out a lot more. He like sounds healthier. He looks good. Like Vance looks good right now. Like
I'm gonna call it
whenever you
now.
see
Vance
somebody-
is the final boss.
Oh, that's what I was about to
He's-
say.
We're winning his favor right now,
Whenever
so
you
it's
see
good.
some-
We're
somebody-
we're creating the
and
boss.
you haven't seen him in a while, and they look good. That's what Vance looks
But
like.
he's still
It's been a while. You look good.
he still doesn't have any limbs, correct?
No, he doesn't
The
have.
nubs
a-
are
Are there
growing
little
back.
nubs? Like, is he regrowing them slowly?
It looks like what the wounds that caused them, that like were still there, the scars have healed and filled out a little bit.
Mhm.
But it doesn't look like he's beginning to grow like little baby hands, like Deadpool or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Can we
I'd say,
capture some of that
Vance,
water
can you
as
just-
well
can
in like
you-
vials or something? Since we saw that it like. Okay.
Can I would
The-
like to ask Vance to stop drinking the blood. Quit licking me.
Aren't we in the middle of a battle?
Why would I? I mean, he's licking his own body because he's front facing and it's like pouring onto his body. It's like bleeding on. But he would say, "Why would I? This is the best stuff in the fucking world. Yeah.
Well, everything in moderation, Vance. You're gonna get a tummy ache.
I'm never full, man. It just goes on and on and on.
Okay.
I love it.
Well, you can go back to the people in the room full of goblin ghosts, but we need to have a conversation about what to do about Vance.
Well, I was
I
gonna
guess
say,
that's true, actually.
as you emerge from the Gobbo basement, roll me a charisma check, just to like, as you kind of like emerge from the darkness below and you're back in the light of like the normal room where you walk down from. You kind of like have a realization that like whenever you were down there, you felt like you were part of the Gobbo community. Like it felt good. Like, and then as soon as you step out of the stairs, well, you're back in the hell house and you're like, shit, this is like a life or death situation. Like that wasn't real. But while you're down there, it was. And Quilly, it'd be your turn.
Well,
So Dylan, if you said we try to like gather some of the liquid, is it gonna fail? Or does
Yeah,
it, like-
so if you're gonna like retcon, so we don't waste time, and you have to go back out there to try to do it. Yeah, so you get some vials, get some little mason jars, try to fill this like blue glowy water into these jars, and you can roll me what's like a weird roll this could be cool for, rather than just like
medicine?
a water
Sleight of
gathering.
hand? Survival?
Animal handling.
Land.
One second.
Why are you gathering the water?
Because I observed that it damaged Vance, and I know Vance is a vampire, and I was like, well, if we're gonna fight more vampires, we should maintain some of this water. Keep it around.
Yep.
Did it only damage Vance because it was running water?
Maybe.
Would it be
I mean,
with-
you can make whatever
is-
kind of
is-
assumptions you want.
Is water running when you pour it out of something?
Not necessarily.
That's a philosophical
It's kind of
question.
like a mythical thing to where it's like running water, like vamps can't cross like moats and stuff. And rivers, it's like being invited into a home type mythic thing. Yeah, you can just roll me I'll say medicine to see like how well you can gather this water into this. It's kind of weird
Drop the
because you like
vial.
sit there for a while and do this, and you like literally dunking it and filling entire mason jars worth, and there's just nothing taking. But then after a while, you're able to get like a small little amount, like the size of a vial, into the bottom of whatever type of vial you're doing, and that takes like time. It's almost like it wasn't working, or like the amount of water that you're seeing versus the amount that can be gathered is like a factor difference or something. But you're able to get a little tiny bit. And back to Quilly in the real time present.
Okay. I'm just gonna bounce up the stairs.
All right, so you disengaging.
Yep.
All right, you're able to make it pretty much to the top of the stairs. You can roll me a charisma as well, and then it'd be Darian. Mirma would go. She'd be like, "Yeah, let's get out of here. These eternal recurring ghasts. It's a no-go."
There's definitely gonna bop them, like before he runs for it, because he's not a bitch.
All right, that means you won't be able to disengage.
I'm just gonna. I can do 3 attacks.
Is disengage an action?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So I'll just hit the 3 nearest to me.
Okay. That last hit doesn't take them out. So you take out 2, and then 1 sticks around. But you said the two
Okay.
nearest to you took hit.
Well, I was gonna do the one, yeah, the ones blocking the doorway. Of course, I'm gonna go for those two first, and I'll bop the malice one last. I guess I would
The
have
Malice one gets
advantage.
damaged.
No, that would. I don't know if that'd be advantage or not.
Yeah, you'd have advantage on it, but I mean, I'll just
The dice roll is not really gonna change, so
yeah, the damage is
just
not
the
really-
d4.
If you get a natural 20, it will.
All right, I'll try it. Nope.
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna beat bop boop run. Didn't measure that at all. Yeah.
All right, Malice, you're up.
I'm gonna go to disengage town. Get up over here.
All right. So once all y'all are in the stairwell, y'all surface. You can roll charisma checks, and you notice like these little ghasties kind of reform. It
Jesus.
doesn't look like they're following you. It looks like as soon as like you're kind of committed to leaving, they disappear back into the earth. It seems like I'll move y'all back over as well.
Dang. Wasted the spell. Oh well.
So I just never use spells. It's always mirror
Charisma save
images.
or charisma throw or charisma check.
Oh. I just did random. I just did charisma.
Either way, I'll use that roll with like the slightly lower charisma modifier for a check. Yeah, Darian, so you kind of like emerge, and you have a feeling that like there was a sense of community, security, and like general wellness that you've been alive for what, like 60 years? Like you're young, but you're still like,
Mhm.
like you're 80 or something. So you were alive when goblins were alive, and you know what goblins were like. And the way those goblins were living right down there, if those visions are to be believed, is like unlike you've ever seen them. And you kind of have this moment that Sirocco had where you kind of emerge from down there and you're like, yeah, that was all right. And then you get to the top of the stairwell and you're like, oh shit, I'm back in the hell house. This is life or death situation. I gotta be on my toes again.
Mhm.
So, yeah, y'all are back in.
Does anything happen to me?
Yeah, so your save, like you just kind of, you're mostly concerned with just like getting out of there. You're just thinking what you were thinking whenever you were fighting them. You're like, all right, these are enemies, we have to fight, you gotta get out of here. And I mean, however you thought about what you saw in there is whatever you thought. So,
Okay.
yeah, nothing like negative happens. We can start.
All right. We just found some gerblins, or well,
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of gerblins running around, and they all disappeared.
yeah, they're gone now, I guess. That was cool.
Yep. So you saw them in various rooms, drinking tea,
The Gerb
fighting one
Skillies.
another, sparring. Some were like gardening, some were in like a spa. Just looks like Gerblins as you've never seen them before in the basement, and then as you went into each of these rooms, the lights went away and these apparitions disappeared, and they returned to what you'd expect to find in the basement of an old house, which is everything dark and desecrated. And then as y'all left, you got accosted by some little shadowy figures that I get some of you noticed looked like goblins, and if they were twisted into some even more unholy, evil-like creature. And they attacked you, and it seemed like they were going to recur, so you wiped them out and then left as they came back again and again. And now you're back in this cobwebbed up, like meal quarters area at the head of the stairs that you just went down.
Okay. Well, should we, let's see, what's the move? So we explored outside.
Let's do this door. I go through this door.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, guys, let's talk about this. Malice rushes in.
This door opens up.
As you guys are talking about this, Malice is rushing in.
This door opens up into a pretty small room. That's another stairwell going down.
Gotta go down the stairs.
Yep, and you would surface. You find yourself in a familiar place in the basement once again, right here. I guess, can you see me pinging? So in the room, in the dining room where you saw the apparition of the goblin singing merrily and Malice playing a tune on his lute. There's a stair, and you enter down there again, and it's all dark. There's no goblins anymore.
I run back up the stairs.
Okay.
Not that way. Not that way.
Roll me a perception as you take a look down there.
My eagle eyes?
Yeah.
Wait, so it was the same area?
This is an alternate stairwell leading down. Yeah, so you notice kind of as you like take a look, and then you start to realize, okay, I'm just going to go back up the stairs. I've already been here. Through one of the kind of semi-open doors, you see like a red spectral hand reach across over the door and then peek its head, and it looks like one of those similar goblin ghastly creatures that you fought, looking at you with the red eyes, and then you go back up, I guess.
Yep. Still gobbo specters down there. Let's not go that way.
Damn. All right. Okay. I'll go through this door here on the left.
Okay. This actually, you can't see whenever you open it, but you open it up and it is open, and it leads outside into like another like little side courtyard.
Okay.
And you can roll a perception as you kind of like take a look out of here.
All right. Where is the? Whoa! They redid the UI for the character sheet.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, that's interesting. It's pretty much the same.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's good.
Oh, damn.
Sick.
So you notice as you walk out to your right, there's a light kind of like emanating, and you see some smoke emanating kind of in like a wave. And the light is greenish, and it's kind of filtering through the smoke as well, and it's coming from over here.
Okay. So I guess it's pretty far away from the main.
Yeah, so there's this
central
courtyard. There's some like random barrels right here that you'd be able to clearly see. They're kind of old, and some are broken, some are not. And then there's this smoke emanating from the grass outside the tile, and then through the boxes and whatnot.
Whoa. Okay. Like it's coming from the cracks in the tiles?
No, it's just coming from somewhere over here where it kind of breaks into grass.
Okay.
So you'd be able to see, I guess, that much.
All right. It's like another courtyard, guys. I open one of these boxes.
Yep.
Can I?
So a couple of them are broken, some are not. You open one, and it's filled with like hay, and there's some indentions, and it looks like, there's only one bottle left, but it looks like it used to hold more than one bottle of wine. But you see a bottle of wine, and then as y'all step out here, you can kind of see at least this far where smoke is thicker and emanating. Y'all can see the green light as well. Now that you're outside in the courtyard, emanating from over there.
Interesting.
And then back this way is you don't notice anything other than just this is the side of the house going back to where the other way y'all came, the front door.
Okay. I mean, I'm a pretty fiery kind of guy. Maybe I could go check out the fire.
Sounds good. We'll follow.
All right. I hop over these barrels and approach the fire.
So it's not necessarily fire, but you do see
Oh,
you approach
my bad.
over here, and as you get closer, you can see that the smoke is kind of billowing out of what looks like a hole in the ground.
Whoa.
And
Interesting.
The smoke is so thick you can't really see through it, but it's clearly just like coming out of this area over here. It's just this green spectral light. You're not really sure where it's coming from. It almost looks like it's within the smoke itself.
Well, this is spooky.
Does it smell like anything?
No.
It's odorless?
Yeah.
Well, this ain't like any smoke I've seen. Is there another rock that you can throw at it, Malice?
I pick up something next to me and throw it.
Throw it, just try to...
Into the smoke.
Into the smoke. Yeah, so you throw, I guess, a piece of wood, maybe bulky one that you can get a good weight to it. Goes through the smoke, you see the smoke. So you throw it in there good, cuts through the smoke. It reacts like how smoke does. The wood just goes into this opaque, emanating, billowing smoke, and you don't even hear anything. It just goes in.
All right, I walk towards the smoke.
Cool.
Okay.
I'll cautiously approach behind.
As you get closer, you can see, you get close enough to like kind of look down into the hole, and you can see a box. And it's a box that you probably recognize because it looks like some of the boxes that were in Vox's room.
Oh.
It looks like a coffin.
The crypt? Oh, yeah, the coffin? Okay. Huh.
Say Mirmo and Sirocco are out here. I'm pretty sure Sirocco would be with y'all. I'll just put him like halfway. He's going to be standing guard. Yeah, so you see that it's not shaped like a coffin necessarily in the picture, but it's a wooden, like, steepled, kind of spreads out thicker into where like the head of the body would be, and then kind of bends around, and then and it looks like whenever you kind of get closer, it's covered, but you can see a separation between the lid of the coffin and the rest of it, and the green smoke is emanating between the lid and the coffin. The coffin's open, but it looks like almost like the lid's just sitting on top of the smoke. Yeah.
How deep is the hole? Is it like grave deep?
It's like it's like it's a little bit. You could roll perception to see, like, standing from where you're at. If you wanted to walk right up to it, I'd say you'd be able to tell. But if you're just looking at it from a distance, you can perceive the...
Oh, I don't see shit. I walk towards it.
Okay. So as you get closer, you feel a chill. It's cold outside, but this is a chill that's beyond that. And
I feel a chill that's beyond the cold outside.
Yeah. So you feel... Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's even colder. It's cutting right through to you, and you can tell that the coffin is not buried 6 feet deep. It's kind of like it's a much more shallow grave. It's more like 3 feet. It's like half that, and it's not very like. It looks like it's been excavated, kind of already. There's like, obviously you can see the coffin, and the dirt's kind of just like around it.
No, it's my hopes and dreams for the Rockets buried in a shallow grave.
Yikes.
Yikes. That's Yikes City. Not Clutch City, Yikes City.
What do you make of this?
So someone dug this up and opened it.
Hey,
probably?
Darian. Darian,
Yes.
come here.
Okay. Darren's gonna get off guard and go over.
I'm just imagining Darian just like with his huge form, just walking through all the boxes and barrels like he just did on the token, where he's like, he's just
Yeah, he's not like acrobatically doing anything. He's just like
he's
swinging through him like a
walking
tank.
through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see everything I just described, Darian. As you get closer, you can feel. Normally, your armor keeps you pretty warm when you're outside because it's insulated and whatnot. But this smoke as you get closer, you get a little chill beyond what you.
And then what do I see? What am I looking at, Malice?
Well, there's a
So-
coffin here, and there's some green smoke coming out of it.
It's a
And I was
coffin
curious-
and a shallow grave. Yeah, with green smoke
If
emanating.
you wanted to try to use your pole arm to maybe push the lid off so we can see it.
Do.
Good idea.
So I'll get in within 10 feet of it, so I have the reach, and then I'll pry the lid off the top.
Okay. Roll me not an attack. I'll say like an athletics, just to be able to like get it there. The very end of it, you have to use the weight, and then prop it open. So yeah, you get it in the smoke, and it almost like once you get to a certain point in the smoke, it almost looks like you're hitting something solid, but like you kind of can tell you're not. You can see the spear going through the smoke, and then it takes like you think this is going to take a DC 10, but this takes more than you'd expect. But you're like tensing up, and as you realize it takes more strength, you use it, and you pop the lid off, and roll me a wisdom saving throw at what you see inside. Everyone.
Oh, everyone?
Everyone.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. I got it. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's sick. I worked on my wisdom.
Oh,
No.
Oh, good. Well, we all fucked up.
Oh great.
So.
We are not wise.
All right, guys.
Darren, you do get. Darren, you
I'll
still
take the
get,
blame for this one.
You still
What
get
happens?
disadvantage on that saving throw, by the way, Darian, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So what you see is it's a dead body. It's desecrated. It's wearing like a black tunic almost, and its arms, it's holding something, and it has green glowing eyes, and it looks like that's almost like where the smoke is emanating. And as y'all like look into this, it looks. Each of you individually, it looks as if it's looking at you, and its eyes are almost like glaring into you, these green glowing eyes that are spiraling smoke from them. It looks like its head is turned in its like lie down form and staring at you. And each of y'all feel as if what it has in its hands is like precariously over like your neck, and what it has in its hands is a dagger. And this moment feels like a long time. You feel genuine terror at this, and then it's gone. And the smoke is still emanating, but you can see more clearly through it. And this figure holding this dagger in its two hands, kind of like as it was buried. Eyes are no longer glowing, and it's not looking at you. And the lid is now off to the side of the shallow grave. But each of y'all are now going to be, I don't know, that was weird.
Well,
That was weird.
that was fucking strange.
Well.
Should we speak with it?
Oh, yeah, you can speak. You can talk to it.
Okay. Should probably ask some. Think about what we're gonna ask first, though. Possibly.
So you get, let me.
I'd like to know what it just did to us.
It was pretty spooky, though. I don't know if we want to talk to him. He's
Well,
pretty.
I'd like to know if I just got a curse put on me or something.
I guess.
You got the debuffs are stacked right now.
Wait, oh yeah, why is Darian debuffed? What happened to him?
It's a very similar
I don't know.
experience,
I got
actually. Whenever y'all first entered and you fought the Naga and the Deathlock, after Malus and Darian dispatched the Deathlock, it was just like dead. And then Darian had a moment after Malus walked away where he looked back down this right hallway, and he like blinked, and the lights went out, and he saw like a dozen Deathlocks all turning and staring at him with yellow eyes. And then
Oh.
he hasn't been able to shake that feeling. Every single time he's tensed up to try to save, he's remembered those yellow eyes.
Is that visible to us?
What do you mean visible?
Like, can we tell something's fucked up with Darian?
I mean, something is kind of fucked up with all of you at this point. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I would say you can tell that he's, especially with that fight with the monster, you could tell he kind of was fucking up left and right, and that's not normal for him.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. I'll save this for later.
Well-
but I'm gonna go try to grab whatever's in that thing's hands out of its hands.
Yep. Okay. So as you approach, again, the scene and the mood of this is much less spooky. Before and after what just happened, there's a dividing line where now you maybe feel a little bit more confident trying this. So when you walk up to grab it, nothing happens. You're able to grab it, But as soon as you touch it, you hear. You're pretty sure no one casts Speak with Dead, but you hear the voice in your mind, or kind of maybe it's auditory. You can't tell. It says, "There are two blades in the night," and you suddenly are reminded of those two green glowing eyes and this dagger perched precariously over your neck, and then it goes away again, and you have the dagger in your hand, and it looks like. I was looking up Speak with Dead, but
Oh yeah, I can look it up again.
if y'all are gonna use that. So yeah, it has a black hilt. It's a relatively simple dagger. It has a black hilt, kind of straight to the point, like blade design, and then it has on the end of the hilt it has a blue or greenish bluish orb that's kind of like pulsing with some kind of. This thing looks like a magic dagger. It's very clear, but you don't know what it is yet. You'd have to
Some
identify
loot?
it.
Does anyone have any ID scrolls?
Rockets won by 21. Hey,
Damn.
Mirmo,
It's over.
can you identify items?
What do you got there?
Some kind of scary magic dagger. I don't know about you guys, but I saw some weird shit when we approached my bee, but this dead person was holding it, and it looks magic.
She does not know identify.
All right,
Can I-
well,
I can
yeah,
say y'all have a wand of identify, but that's not true. The wand of identify is owned by Bud, not
Oh, that's
anyone
right.
here.
I
well, I
mean,
guess we
would
find out what it does. I equip it.
Bud is someone else in the Into Fate cinematic universe. Y'all don't know. Who
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Bud is Alex's character in our other campaign,
Hmm.
Oh.
in our wizard campaign.
But it's in the same.
Yeah,
it's in the same.
it's in the continuity.
We created it. We created it because we weren't playing as often in this one, and we wanted to play more.
Yeah.
But once you joined the party, we were playing a lot more, so we were playing in this one.
Okay.
I have a whole dungeon created for the other campaign that's been on ice for a while
I
now.
know.
Oh damn.
I had a lot of fun doing my stuff.
Yeah.
We're switching off who's DM in that campaign.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because it means you have a player and you're sometimes DM. So then, like, whenever you DM, your player becomes like an NPC kind of.
Oh
Me and-
really?
NPC
Yeah, me and Dylan
plus.
have both done like arcs of our own, and John had one that he was preparing.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, that kind of fell off the map for a while. We need to boot that back up, maybe,
Yeah, we will.
if people have time.
I mean, I have in
We'll
mind.
have to add an Alex caster in there too.
Hmm.
I mean, that would work. There's going to be a time jump from the Hellmouth to what's about to happen, so we can throw
You
anything.
can go dust off the
You have to be a gnome wizard.
old stuff.
You don't have to be a gnome wizard.
Yeah, you
I
don't have
like
a
that
choice.
mold. You can be a dark elf warlock.
That sounds
Or
cool.
you could add sorcerer to our party because we have 3 wizards and a warlock / sorcerer, but mostly warlock.
Pretty much warlock. Alex didn't respond.
All right. Well, the axe is going on my back, and Malice is a dagger sword man.
Something terrible's gonna happen.
No way, it'll be
That
fine.
We could speak to the dead and ask him, or he might get mad that you took his dagger.
What's he gonna do? Die?
Oh, I also heard a voice that said there are 2 blades in the night.
It doesn't
Just
raise.
FYI.
It doesn't raise them. It just
Oh.
speak. It doesn't like it wouldn't. I could take the liberty as DM because I'm God to turn this into a jump scare, but he's only really supposed to talk.
Oh.
Whenever you cast Speak for Dead.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So you're saying like he might get mad and like try to kill you if you did it.
Oh yeah. I see what you're saying. All right. I mean, is there anything around to the right?
So that branches back around to the courtyard, the backyard courtyard that y'all saw. And I mean, from this distance where y'all are standing like next to this coffin looking over, it looks like behind this coffin and this green smoke and this little area you're in, it's the forest that you saw before outside. Whenever you were looking from outside to the courtyard, the backyard, it was like a forest because that's what backs the house. Whenever y'all walked up, you could clearly tell. And then whenever you walked out on the courtyard in the backyard, that's whenever you saw the weird ocean.
It was like an ocean.
The cosmic
Okay.
starscape, and it looked like
Yeah,
it
we
was
had our
entirely
Gattaca
different.
swimming contest.
Yeah, y'all Gattaca swam. It looked like, you might say, in another plane. It almost looked like,
Right.
but you can't confirm or deny that.
Okay, as we're walking back, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Darian.
What's up?
Most of the time, kind of notice you're pretty good at fighting. I know this because I'm pretty good at fighting.
Sure.
But when we were fighting kind of the, vampire, false god, death monster thing, looked like maybe there was some stuff going on? Is everything cool?
I don't really know. I saw something down the hallway behind the the skeletal monster. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was just like it spooked me a little bit, and I don't know. I'm not sure what caused it, or if I was just hallucinating or what. But I kind of just brushed it off at the start, but I feel like it's affecting me mentally now.
They always sends us to the nicest places.
That's the worst curse of all, Faye, upon all of us.
Yeah, I hate that bitch. Sorry, no, Mirmo, you didn't hear me say that. Hey, Mirmo, any kind of restorative magic you could maybe break off for my boy Darian here, so he's not, getting haunted by multitudes of half-dead skeleton mages?
Haunted? Are you being haunted? Is that she takes out her little handbook, which you've seen her reference a couple of times. She mostly referenced it whenever after the beginning ordeal in the room, whenever Grinmus ran into a portal and Malice summoned these monsters on you and you didn't know what was going on. You saw her pull out her handbook and she was like, all right, we got to figure out, we can still do this. She pulls it out again. She's like, haunting. So what kind of things are you experiencing, Darian? Because I guess she wasn't around to hear what you said.
Yeah. What? Spook alarm?
What?
Yeah, I heard a spook alarm in the background.
Holy shit.
no.
Quick interjection. I watched the first Haunting on Hill House. I was spooked.
fuck.
Yeah, it's a spooky show. That first episode's spooky.
I know. Too spooky for me. No. Okay,
Very
so
spooky.
Mirmo, I saw a bunch of weird small creatures. I don't remember exactly what they were.
They're not small. They're 6 feet. They're the size of that deathlock. With that deathlock,
yeah.
is 8 feet tall.
Okay. So they were tall. Sorry,
They
they
were
were
just
very tall.
Yeah.
They had yellow eyes. I
Mhm.
think it's been a while.
They all
so.
turned and looked at you in unison. It's been a while, but Darian is
No,
seen it
Darren
a
fucking
lot.
remembers.
Yeah.
John does not remember the full details.
She would.
But it was just I was looking down the hallway and they all just kind of turned to me and looked, and then I blinked and they disappeared. Right?
Yeah. She's like,
Yeah.
yep, that is a definitive spook, I'll tell you. And yep, it's right here. It's right here in the handbook, section 4 BC.
Wait,
Yep.
hang on. I thought you were like a competent cleric. Why do you need a handbook?
Well, I'm a competent cleric, but Grinmus is the master exorcist and ghost hunter. I was a study as his apprentice, and fighting evil spirits, more so in my wheelhouse. Exorcising, identifying spirits within a spook house, much more nascent for me. But yes, what you're experiencing, you are being haunted. That is true, and I do have something in my repertoire that might be able to help with it. Lesser restoration, very common spell. Unfortunately, being haunted in this way, not very common. And all I could, if you were unable to move, or you were blinded temporarily, or you were deafened, I could cure that lickety split. But I don't think lesser restoration. We're gonna need something greater to get rid of what you got.
So you don't have a greater restoration? Weren't you like Faye's cleric?
I do not have a greater restoration. Me and Faye, those were younger days. Those were the days. But yeah, I was much younger back then. I'm more experienced now, but greater restoration is still an aspiration to me. That's something Grinmus probably knew. In fact, I think he did know it. God bless him, wherever he is now. He's still alive. We're gonna save him.
Yeah, I think so. Well, there isn't much we can do for Darian.
Yeah, I'm a lost cause.
Sorry. I said if there isn't much we could do, we could just, I don't know. I mean, we got pretty spooked there too, so.
I'll just crawl in the coffin. Y'all, best of luck to y'all. No, I'm not getting that spooky coffin.
Give him the milky potion.
the sperm potion.
Milky pot. Give him the milky pot.
I don't remember what those do.
Yeah, what do we
Potion of
have?
Spirituality. Spirituality. I don't know what it
I
does.
put it in my inventory. Mine's like something courage.
Yep.
Oh, they actually had like names? I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Elixir
They,
of courage is mine.
Based on the
Oh, really?
name, I didn't like read anything about curing spooks, so I don't know if it'll cure a spook.
Your semen vial.
Yeah, the semen vial. Does it smell like semen? Like, let's say I take off the vial lid and
Oh,
smell a
God.
little bit. Like, what does it smell like?
TMI.
It is odorless. But
Doesn't smell mildly of chlorine.
Mirmo sees you. And she's like, she like turns to another page of her handbook while eyeing you, and she's like, "Yeah, never drink, never drink a vial of semen from my house. That's pretty much here in the table. It's right after the table of contents."
Yeah, I would definitely just hold my nose as I drank it if I needed to, but not gonna drink this right now.
That's fair. Well,
It's a ridiculous
I don't know.
place to put something important like that in the table of contents. Nobody reads that.
Right after the table of contents.
Who wrote that stupid book?
It's chapter 1.
Chapter 1, don't drink semen vials.
It's don't
My mom
don't
always told me that.
don't and she like looks at like the dagger you're now kind of like goggling. She's like, don't take things from the house with you is what the chapter's about. And yeah, semen's one of the things, or just drinking anything or consuming food or drink from the house naturally could have
see.
poor effects upon you. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff. That chapter I do know, but just to show you.
Thanks for the info.
I'm gonna hold on to the magic dagger, and I'm probably gonna drink this golden elixir at some point.
I can't stop you. In fact, based on what that Ronde character said, she seemed amenable to those things actually helping. So, as long as she's telling the truth.
yeah, it's true.
Well, this adventure's kind of going a little poorly here. When you say, Nemo,
Yeah, we really don't know anything yet. Well,
Yep.
that's not true.
okay, well,
We know a lot from what these people have told us. These Manicus clan, spooky, eccentric people.
Right.
But nothing they've said lines up with what I know about this house and why the Gamma Navis and Lox's family jointly hired me and Grinmus to come and do the exorcism.
well,
This
it
is a
sounds like
house
the Gamma
of
Navis and the Loxus family's not great people.
That's certainly a possibility. I just,
Isn't that right, Vance?
without proof, I don't really know. Vance is still just like lapping up the blood as Sirocco continues to flow. It's like, oh
okay.
yeah, the Gamma Navis investigative journalism was my game, and I was sent to look into these families. The Manicus family was my target, but Gamma Navis was actually Boris, I think his name was. He was my client, but he's the one that betrayed me. He's the one that.
Yeah.
Threw me
That
in
was
the well.
that was a joke. We don't need your life story, Vance.
Okay, I'll just
Aside.
go back to drinking this. Yummy.
That's sweet blood.
All right,
Feels
let's go back
good.
inside. I'm worried we've missed the loot room. Let's retrace our steps.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Let's.
And by that end game, I mean I think we should check out the other rooms.
Okay. We actually haven't even gone to the right from the central room yet. I do remember seeing a small girl with a bear over there. So maybe we could go check that out.
Over where? Where was this?
Way back in the very first hallway, very first encounter we had. I just moved my thing back there. In this main room.
By the way, Darian, every single time the saving throw thing happens, you would know this also because it's been said every time, and it was said that whenever you got afflicted by it, you hear the voice in your mind, kind of like a wispy, guttural voice. Fortune does not favor the living, is what you hear every time the yellow eyes are looking upon you. A little bit more flavor there. Okay, so how are y'all proceeding?
Should we poke our heads in these rooms we didn't go in? Not this one. I don't want to go in this one.
Oh wait, yeah. Wasn't this one like a big iron gate?
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
an iron gate you can see through, but it's so dark inside that even with dark vision, you can kind of barely see through. But you see it's a very wide room with pillars, and in between the pillars, there's some kind of structures or statues. And in the center, there's some prominent thing directly in the center of the room. But outside of that, you can't make out any features. Even with dark vision, it's darker. It's darker than darkness.
Well, boys, it's pretty dark.
This is advanced darkness.
This is advanced darkness. I think I said that last time. I already used that joke. But yeah, that's what it is. It's what's that? There's also it's either a Skyrim or an Oblivion book called Darkest Darkness. What's that? Because I read those books.
I read those books as well.
Those are good as shit.
Nice. Yeah, that's darkness.
This is
Darkest
advanced
darkness.
dark.
Should we go back, or what do you want to
Let's do it. I don't want to mess with the boss room yet.
do? Okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't
Yeah.
actually know what's in there, but I do want to go look in these other rooms.
Okay.
There's like 3 doors we didn't go in.
Oh, this was another courtyard, right? Like out here.
Yes. So this door to your left, or I guess to your right, but to our left, it's glass panes, and you can see into what looks like a greenhouse. There's moonlight streaming in. You can see plants, and then the other door you just said leads out to a courtyard. Yeah, it leads out into a outside area that's kind of like encircled by the house, and you can see vines coming out of that door. There.
I'm gonna poke my head in here.
Okay. So yeah, it opens up, and you see what looks like. It looks like there's plants everywhere. It almost looks like you can immediately tell a lab of a kind.
Ooh.
And the plants are of a variety that you don't recognize most of them, and some of them look, you might say, like spooky plants. And on tables in between the plants and where the plants are sitting, some are on the ground, some are on top of tables, and they're smaller and larger. You see suspended liquids and tomes of all kinds, and this is what it looks like.
Feed me, Seymour.
Carnivorous? Whoa. Pretty.
So yeah, you see a bunch of different colors and different types of plants. Some look like you can't really tell, you can roll your perception, it looks like they're moving as if in a wind, but you don't feel a wind in this room.
Fuck.
Yeah, I was trying to find where we were.
So Mirmo and Sirocco will come over here.
My nature is pretty bad,
So it's
but I
pretty
can do a
dark in
nature
this
check.
room. There's no natural, there's only natural light. There's no like candles like you've seen in some of the other rooms. But this is entirely glass, so there's moonlight streaming in. And like kind of as y'all make your way into the room and start to explore it, you see a figure with his back turned, his or her,
Whoa.
in the room.
Oh,
Zoom
dear.
in. Zoom in on this bitch. And seems to notice you, turns around, wearing a big hat, has gloves on, dealing with some plant. And he turns around. Where
Hail
do
and well met.
Where do you come from? Who are you? What are your names? This is my greenhouse.
I like your plants. I'm Malos.
Malos. I don't know it's an ironically similar name to.
Yes. I get that all the time. It's kind of a Michael Bolton situation.
Are you related to Malice? You get that all the time. Wow, incredible. And as you're talking, you kind of like square up, and you can see outside. Yeah, you see outside. You can look through the windows. The moonlight streams through. You see this huge tree that's just directly here, growing outside in this little courtyard.
Whoa.
And you can actually see through these windows right here, the ones closest to it, there's vines and branches have kind of like, not burst into it, but have like kind of creeped their way through the walls and through the windows. And this person, like, do you know Malos? Am I saying that right?
Yep. You
Malice.
got it. You got it in one. Do know Malice? Yep. He's chatted with us a couple times
Great
now.
guy. Just a stand-up gentleman.
Yep.
Do you know
One
what
of my
We
best
love him.
friends. You love him too? That's awesome. I love him.
How do you know Malice? What's your name, by the way?
Yeah. What is my name? You see her or him turn around and go back to his plants. Like, so much to do. Are you certain you've come to the right place? Do you know where you are here? Do you know what you're doing here? Do you know who or why or who am I? And it's just like rambling.
We're trying to help you guys, Dominicuses, out of this predicament that the Nevises and the Loxuses have put you in.
Yeah, politics. She's holding up a potted plant, and you can see kind of like the moonlight streaming through the branches of this huge tree outside, and it looks like it's now waving in the wind. And you see him look at it and put the plant down, and it's like he's like focused on this tree, and he turns back to y'all. Do you know? Do you want to know a secret? That tree is a collection of them. Do you want to know my secret?
Sure.
He's about to transform.
Oh no.
Do you want to see? Do you want to see something really scary? No. My secret. I spoke it into the seedling of that tree right there. It's the Phasma Tree.
Which one?
In order to propel it to grow. This tree. There's a tree outside. I guess. Can y'all see that?
Outside. We could see. I just didn't
like
know.
Some GM layered like stuff like going on. So I just need to make sure everything's visible. I wasn't sure if I GM layered it. Do you want to know my secret? I spoke it into the seedling of the Phasma Tree outside in order to propel it to grow from the very beginning.
Huh.
My secret. I've never told anybody this, but Malice. But I need to say it. I want to say it. I can't have only a tree and only Malice knowing my big secret. He looks right at you. I am not from this world. Kind of like cocking his head. His like big sun hat kind of droops, and you can see holes in the sun hat. I came from a different one, filled with different people, and the passage from that world to this one drove me mad. And that's true. And Malice was the only one ever who could possibly understand me. So he welcomed me into his home. He even helped me cultivate my plants, my great passion. And these things are still alive because of the care I took. They still give off their life-giving powers now. And as he says that, this one next to y'all in the corner, you see it spill over, like one of the pots spills over, and there's a bunch of soil that comes out onto the ground, and this white plant starts to move in animation, and it like bursts a bunch of what look like spores upon everyone near the doorway.
Oh.
Oh, good.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Fuck. Well, actually, oh no, my Constitution is not good. Ooh. Oh.
Very constituted.
Fighter gets +3 to Constitution.
Okay, so and you get a disadvantage on that, Darian, by the way, but it's not going to matter. So y'all kind of like cough at this. Malice, you're able to avoid most of it. I guess I'll say Sirocco would probably be in here as well.
Yeah, does Sirocco react to him saying he's from another world? Would have been nice to have Alex here for that.
Yeah, I'll roll for that. I'll roll, and then I'll make you roll depending on what I roll. Where are all my dice? I got every dice in the world except for the ones that you need.
It's kind of deep.
That was deep. So yeah, you roll me a perception, Malice. Everybody can, but Darian and Quilly, you both kind of like cough at this, and like some of these like white spores get caught in like your throat. And you're like, ah! And then you see this person react. He like runs over. He's like, no, the Phasma ficus. And he puts it back up, kind of tries to put the soil in it, and as he gets closer, you can see that like he's very clearly, much like all these other people you've encountered, translucent. And he's not all there, but he's able to pick this potted plant up and scoop the soil back in, and then this white wavy plant goes back in. He's like, the Phasma ficus. Sorry. I guess it got a little animated with its papa out there. He's feeling real good tonight. So am I. I think. Are you guys feeling good tonight? It's a good night.
Not anymore.
Darian, you think you can see Sirocco kind of start at what this person has to say. He's like kind of like, you can tell he's paying more attention. So you notice something going on with Sirocco. I'm gonna roll for him. He's coughing alongside y'all.
Sirocco is?
Yeah. He also got a little bit of an inhale of that stuff.
So, if you're not from this world, how do you know the Manicus family?
Well, whenever I arrived here, and I didn't know anything, I was just what's now called the Forest of Shadows. That's where I just woke up, and I just took to it, and I lived in the forest for a long time with plants. And then Malice, he found me, and he was the only person that I ever met. Didn't try to kill me or yell at me or just be mean. So
Yikes.
I listened to him, and he brought me back to Beckinsale, and got to meet everyone. It's a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun, man. This house, what year is it? Wow.
It's 2018.
Wow. But I got my own room, and I got to just go crazy with my plants. You can see my family. This is my other family.
Oh,
These
jeez.
plants, I love them, man. They really picked me up. And you can see behind him like the big. And by the way, this tree behind him has no leaves on it. It's stark white wood. It almost looks like a weirwood from a Game of Thrones, where it's like this like bleached white wood.
Oh, wow.
It just has these long. It looks like a tree in winter where there's no leaves on it, and it's shaking, and there's a lot of momentum with it, and you can see kind of like the windows like shuddering and where some of the branches have come through. Whoa, yeah, he's real excited. It must be because y'all are here. He really likes company.
Can we talk to
Wait.
your tree friend?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Can we talk to your tree friend?
He's not. I mean, you can try. I talk to him all the time. He doesn't really respond, but sometimes he does. But I don't know if that's just like the other voices that are going on in there.
Other voices?
Yeah, a lot of voices going on. All my plants talk, but like I said, I can't tell if it's the plants or just the old noggin.
Okay.
You can try to talk. It's the Phasma Tree is its name. I'm not sure it's a boy or a girl. I like to say he, Big Papa, because it's big, but I don't know.
That's okay. I'm not into labels either.
That's good. Yeah, labels are real dumb.
Hello, Phasma Tree. Can you hear us?
Are you just like talking to it through like the windows and stuff? Or are you talking?
Can I go out there? Can I get through the windows?
Yeah. So you see, there's like a kind of an obscured door by like plants right here. The windows are kind of broken. You could try to get through, but you'd like risk getting some glass shards. But you know that this door out here looked like it led to this area.
Oh, okay.
Should we phasma it up? Or someone stay?
Out here. Hello. Do we want to leave someone in here?
Should we, or should we all just go?
Um,
Let's just go.
What was this guy's name?
Didn't tell you his name.
I asked his name. He didn't respond.
he said he didn't remember.
He trailed off.
Oh,
There
that's
was some rambling.
Why don't some of us go talk to Phasma Tree and some of us stay here?
Okay, I can stay. Sure.
All right, I'll go talk to Phasma Tree.
Yeah,
I can see-
I'll go outside as well with the lament's kind of like a gardener's like hole, so just
They
in
can
case
see us
things
out
go
here, right?
awry.
What'd you say? Sorry, y'all spoke at once. You said your gardener's
Okay.
full, and then what?
Can they see us out here?
Yeah, they can clearly see you. I guess
Oh, can I see the
Mirmo would she would go with y'all. She'd be interested in this tree.
Quilly kind of like starts a little flame in his hand, kind of like surreptitiously, and is like glaring out of the corner of his eyes. At, like, these flames. Yeah, he's like
It's
unsure
like
if he
clearly
can-
it's clearly visible to this person in the room, like the flame.
No, it's like behind his back, just like
Okay.
kind of like a little flame, and he's like,
just hiding a
Kinda
bright
like
flame
eyes
behind his
you.
back?
And then
What?
And then smiles and goes back to like planting shit.
Can we see him from where we are?
Yeah, you like look through the glass, look through the window, and he's like, "Hi," and then he just goes back to do it.
Okay. I touch the bark on the Phasma Tree and say, "Hello, Phasma Tree."
Whenever you touch the bark, you actually, whenever
Oh no!
you touch the bark, and your hand like
Falls
moves
off.
through it. No, your hand moves through it like it's not solid. And
Oh, wow.
as your hand enters into this like white wood, roll me a charisma saving throw.
Oh shit! I just accidentally backed out trying to scroll over. You said charisma.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. You're good at that.
I am in fact good at that. Okay, sorry. I'm back.
Okay. A couple things happen at the same time. Whenever you touch the tree, your hand goes through it, and you feel a chill, and it feels like water, and it feels like the same water that you Gattaca swam in just a bit ago. And I guess Sirocco didn't. You're gonna hear it as well, but Sirocco didn't say this to anyone whenever he heard it. Whenever he was doing the Gattaca swim as well, and something happened. But you hear almost like emanating from within the tree, but you hear it screams, like people screaming, hundreds, maybe thousands in unison. Everyone is just in a bad way, and you hear Sirocco from within the little greenhouse. You hear him like, ah, and he like puts his hand. He has his hands, Quilly, you would see on his ears, and he's like, ah, fuck, and he like falls to one leg. And,
Can I hear him in there?
yeah, you can hear him muffled through the window, and the arborist person is like, oh, what's going on? Is something wrong? But you're able, in this thing, because of that save, you felt like you almost could have, those screams could have been a lot worse for you, Malice.
Well,
As soon as I hear Sirocco screaming, I pull my hand away.
Oh shit, I'm not plugged in. Okay. And in the same moment that Sirocco screams, Darian and Mirmo would notice this. There's a door right here, and it blows open as if like a wind goes through, but nobody feels any wind, and this tree continues to like move as if there's a wind, but y'all don't feel any wind, you don't feel any chill other than just the chill and the cold outside air, because Beckinsale's pretty far north. This door opens right here. And it kind of just this black single door just like opens up.
I'm gonna shout to everybody to come out here.
all right.
Mirma's
I
gonna
go
peek her head around Scooby-Doo style. Sirocco is gonna make his way out here. Darian, you notice him as he's walking up. He's like eyeing this tree, and he's looking a little spooked. He's got Vance on his chest and the cat in his pocket.
Interesting. The Phasma Tree. What did you see? Or did Malice didn't scream. I asked Sirocco why he was yelling.
He's like, whenever I drank a little bit of the water from the Plutonian shore after I got destroyed in that Gattaca swim.
Yeah, you got destroyed, didn't you?
I've been waiting for round 2. Fuck you. But I heard a just a fucking cacophonous scream, as if there were people screaming in my ears, and I just heard the same scream just now whenever I was standing in there looking at this weird plant guy. But I guess this tree is giving bad vibes, man. Real bad vibes. Guy said,
Well,
grew the tree with, and then Mirmo would like finish, like, grew the tree with his secret. And was like writing it down in her journal.
Oh, yeah.
his secret was he came from another world.
Yeah, but he said he grew the tree, propelled it to first grow by telling the tree his secret, and that was the only other confidant other than Malice that he had.
Okay, so this dude's
I wish Alex was here.
spectral
It
gardener.
happens every time. Like, there's always some like very important information that's conveyed to the person that like can't attend. It's funny.
I probably just like miss RP'd Sirocco. Sirocco wouldn't have said any of that.
Yeah, he definitely wouldn't have.
Wait,
Gone,
okay.
I get
feel
to
like
Alex said he was
NPC your
fine.
ass.
Yeah, that's true.
Alex didn't respond.
All right, I'm going through this door.
So you can actually see in, and what you see might
Spook you.
yeah,
Might
it's like
deter
it's
you
like
from
the
going in
guy.
the door.
What's that? Okay, no, Will, you're the only person I know that might remember this. Do you remember there used to be that show called Fact or Fiction, and it was hosted by Jonathan Frakes, Riker, and it was like, yeah, it was like Twilight Zone, but it was like it would show you a Twilight Zone story, and they'd be like, is this fact or fiction? Did this happen, or did we make this up? Do you remember that show?
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was Jonathan Frakes.
That was Frakes' act, yeah. So, like, yeah, it's like, I don't even know if he says this, but I feel like he would at the beginning of that show. It's like, now, folks, what you're about to see might shock or appall you. If you're of light heart, please look away. So whenever you look in, and everybody kind of Scooby-Doos around the door looking in, you see an interesting room. It has, I'll describe it before I reveal it for effect. It's, first thing you see is all on the outside of it, there's like almost like you'd see in a museum, creatures, like mythical, some of them monstrous creatures on like pedestals, as if like they've been killed and put there as trophies. And
Oh shit!
they're not bones; they're like fully formed creatures. And in the center of the room, that's like all this room is. It's just like all these statues of these creatures. In the center of the room, there's a great like bear pelt, but you can tell from the feathers on its arms, it's an owl bear pelt, and it's a fucking huge one.
Oh shit!
And in the center of the room on top of the bear pelt, is a figure, a massive figure, like it looks like a human, but it has like almost like the back wideness of a bear. And it's leaned over on its knees with its back to you, and you can see in its back are about 7 to 8 long swords plunged into its back, and there's blood pooled on top of this bear pelt. So this is what you see.
Jesus.
Wow. The big bear really got what was coming to him.
Baked bear. I forgot that.
Bear? That'll show you to smoke weed.
This is the best ad council, best anti-drugs ad you could.
There's a guy on the bear pelt. That's what you were saying.
This guy is on top of the bear pelt. I mean, I'll leave it that big, but he's not like huge. He's a large 6 foot plus man, but he's not a giant. It's just to see the art. It's that big. So you see this guy. Oh, my big old Google Doc being real slow. So, all right, I gotta. So, you see this guy. His back's turned to you. All these swords are plunged in his back, and he's seated here, kind of sitting in his own pool of blood, as it's like at his feet. He's cross-legged, and you see his arms are just kind of like on his knees. And Malice, as you kind of see this, you're like, oh, what the fuck? He speaks out, and somehow you know it's to you, even though his back's turned. You can't even see his mouth moving. It says, "Are you here to take the path of blood?" And these creatures you'd see on the outside, by the way, are huge tiger. This looks like a giant or like an orc, but like a huge one. This is very clearly you can roll me in nature. This looks like a wyvern, small dragon. And this is the predator monster.
The thing of a holder.
That thing's a beholder, Malice. You know that shit. It wouldn't take much, but I wanted to see. Mirmo's looking around in this room like Eddie Murphy in Daddy Daycare. Oh, that's the first and last Daddy Daycare reference I'll ever make. But it fits
the poop on the ceiling.
The poop on the ceiling. So she's looking, and also I would say on the ceiling, you would see a great, like, suspended in the air, kind of the ceiling goes higher than you'd think for such a room as this, a griffin.
Damn.
And you see
cool.
Mirmo, Eddie Murphy in this.
Malice responds, yes. Do you need help first?
He breathes out. Perhaps you haven't been given a choice. I didn't have one. But I took on the mantle of pariah proudly. There's nothing that can help me now. And he stands up. As he stands to his full height, he's like towering over you. You're pretty tall, but this guy's like 6'6". He's got NBA height. And he turns to look at you, and you see just like his massive torso. He's shirtless. Through his chest and sternum and stomach are the other ends of all these bloody blades, and they're all dripping onto the floor, onto the owlbear pelt. He says, while he's looking at kind of all of you, I was to take on all of the pain and all of the hatred unjustly levied upon this family. And he begins to like walk around while he's like just casually with his arms by his side or moving around. He's doing the, you know, I had to do it to him. Like his hands are together, right? No, I'm done. Malice tasked me with protecting us. I did my best, and he's like running his hand along this like tiger. It took 8 of them to bring me down. Even with their unnatural, ungodly strength they stole from the darkness. Even with that, 8 of them. I've never forgotten. 1 for each of them. How could I? And he like points to the swords in his chest and back.
Wow.
And he looks at all of you. I don't know who you are. I don't care who you are. And you see, he looks at you and his eyes just like become filled with just insane rage. And you see his like hands start to like pulse with energy, and like one by one his fingers kind of like arch into blackened claws. And he says, I don't care who you are. My name is Barrick, and I'm going to kill all of you.
Oh,
He rushes at you.
Okay, that's a
fight? Maybe mini boss.
What if we just talk about this for a second?
Yeah, wait, hold on.
I'm trying to
Man.
help you and the rest of the Manicus family. I just
At this
Don't
point,
know
you
that-
can see his eyes are like almost like bleeding with rage. Like they're bulging, and he is not thinking of anything other than rushing at you. And I'll let y'all like position yourselves how you would be in this. I'm gonna lower his like size. He's not that big. But I guess all of y'all. I'm gonna say all of y'all were like in this part of the room. Mirmo was peeking in Murphy style. I'll say Sirocco would be near y'all.
man,
And this guy is
Uh,
rushing at you.
Fuck.
Let me see.
this is a good stopping point.
Yeah, it'd be a good stopping point because there's about to be combat, obviously.
Okay, yeah, maybe we'll stop here. I've got to go to bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man, we're in for a spicy.
All right, great. Some fucking giant man with a bunch of swords in him.
Yeah.
Did he rip the swords out, or are they still in
No,
him
they're
at this
still in him.
point?
He hasn't done
Oh,
anything.
God.
It'd be fucking awesome if he just reached behind, like pulled 2 out. He might still do
Yeah.
that.
You get the idea from what he was doing with his hands and like the claws that were forming on them. This guy doesn't fight with swords, at least not anymore.
Oh.
He's gonna grab one of us and like shove us onto the swords.
He's gonna Wolverine us.
We're gonna get a fucking character death here.
Oh god. I hope not. Damn.
Don't laugh maniacally. That was horrible.
Fuck. All
This
right.
guy's fun.
Good run,
I like
boys.
this guy. I like this guy a lot. I like this room.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, well,
I wonder if we
I
could
guess we have a lot of fun ripping Malice's arms
It's
off.
just a fun house, man. You never know what you're gonna find in the Nick's house.
Jesus Christ.
Well, we found pretty much nothing but awful shit so far.
Well, I mean, some people at least want to like. Yeah, there's
Either do mental
there's murderous pseudo blood gods, and then there's people that give you potions and do riddles with you. So you know, it's a mixed bag.
I guess.
All right, I'm gonna go to bed. That was fun though. I can play probably Sunday.
Sweet.
Do Sunday.
Yeah, I could probably have on them.
I might be traveling, but I'll probably be. I'm going to Dallas next like Monday and Tuesday, so I'll probably be traveling some point Sunday. But in the evening, I'll be like in my hotel, so I can still play theoretically.
Yeah, I think Alex said he gets back on Sunday too, so
Mhm.
we could see if he's up for it.
Probably.
Great
I would
set,
assume
Alex
it'd
missed
have
it.
to be late.
Alex missed
Um,
another sesh.
Yeah, he's gonna be facing this giant man when he comes back.
should I put him in
let's just
front?
all run away and let
Yeah.
run away and just leave
Oh, yeah.
him here.
Let's prank him. Let's like hide outside the door. Be like, Alex, you're alone.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
Sirocco.
yeah,
And he just gets
Door,
one
while
shot and
Fred
he
gets fucking
dies. And we're like,
murdered by
oh.
this man.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, probably not.
And he just
Tell you
switched
what,
up the
though.
music.
There better be some loot.